I'm not exactly sure where it's been leaking from, just kind of all over the carburetor area, and I decided to just replace the whole carburetor. I first looked at replacing just the seal, but it seems like if I replace the seals, it might not fix the problem, and a new carburetor was only like $14 more than the seal kit, so I just got the new carburetor. Hopefully I don't regret that. Should just go in there like this. I think that looks similar. Turn your gas switch to off, pull the gas tube off of the carburetor, and remove the gas tank, which I believe is just held on with this bolt and a couple of like locking pins in the front. I already got the bolt here loosened. Yep, that appears to be the case. So it looks like we have two cables on here. I think this one goes up to the choke, and this one right here goes up to our throttle. You can hear it moving the gate in there. I'm just going to remove this side cover and see what we have underneath. With that cover, you can see we've got a coil spring on the throttle assembly, and when I pull on the gas, it just lifts it up. Looks like we can just unhook the cable from there pretty easily. Through this little gate right here, we just tip it up and pull the cable through right there. And then I just loosen this nut here. And it looks like that just pops right off. I think it's going to be easier to just take this bracket out that the gas tank mounts to. There's just 4 bolts on here. I tried kind of lifting up on it and it wouldn't go. So taking these 4 out, removing that should give us quite a bit more space. This has actually got flats on it, so I think we just loosen that. Should be able to get our choke cable out of there. Likely that this was actually my culprit right here. This is the choke pin and stuff, and that thing is, the seal is like all eaten off. And my choke cable is definitely not working as it should, so I gotta figure out where it's disconnected and see if I can fix that, because I think it's currently doing nothing. That took some struggling, but I have an issue with the choke cable up on this end, which doesn't really involve changing the throttle. But we had to pull off the old components and then pull this cable out, which is in the middle there, out as far as we could, assemble these pieces in this order, and then compress that spring and stick this brass piece in, which was really helpful to have my wife out here and help me do that. But looks like this one doesn't actually have a rubber seal, it just uses the brass as a seal. So hopefully there's no leaking from that. And now it just goes into this hole, and this plastic cap screws on over it. Back in there. Everything seems to be coming together okay. Just gotta get our cable back exactly where it needs to be and hook this to the throttle, and then hook up the gas tube. So the gas tubing was a little bit different size, so I actually just went and took this tube off of a random furnace and used it. So that's probably going to need to be changed out, but I'm just going to keep an eye on it, and if it doesn't seem to be dissolving, then I guess I'll leave it in there. Anyway, put this on, and then I use the primer button to prime it with gasoline. At least I assume that's what this pumpy thing is. And started right up, like 6th kick maybe. And it sounds way better, because previously it idled really high all the time. There was something wrong with that choke, but just listen to this. It idles so much slower, which is really nice. And my other one was like super loud previously. This engine is old and makes bad noises, but as long as it's working, I'm not going to rebuild it. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of crankcase blow by, as you can see. So I think that the piston's like scored or something. Needs new seals and stuff. But works for what I need it for, and the next thing on my agenda is going to be planting trees. So that's what I'm going to move toward next. As you can see, I've got 2 big bundles of lilacs and some buffalo berries, and these are those trees that get the white fuzzy papery bark, whatever those are called, birch trees. So it should be fun.